Reroute all power to the inner shields, he ordered. Hold as long as we can. Help is coming. He tried to sound confident, but the words felt hollow. The colony shook as alien weapons struck its defenses. Hour after hour, they held on. Thomas organized the defenders, moving power from fallen sections to reinforce others. Every minute they survived was another minute for the civilians in the shelters to move deeper underground. "Sir," his security chief called out, "look at these readings. The aliens, they're bringing something big through the jump point." The tactical display showed a massive vessel, bigger than anything they had seen before. It moved slowly, but its purpose was clear. This wasn't just a warship, it was a planet killer. On Earth, Maria watched the data streams from Mars with growing horror. The alien weapon signatures were unlike anything they had encountered. Each blast carried enough power to vaporize a small city. "We need to launch now," she told James over the emergency channel. "The shield breakers aren't perfect, but they're all we have. If that big ship reaches Mars..." James had already made his decision. "All ships with the new weapons, form up on my position. We're jumping to Mars, ready or not." The relief fleet took off, pushing their engines beyond safe limits. Every captain knew they might burn out their ships getting to Mars, but no one complained. They had all seen the casualty reports from the colony. Back on Mars, Thomas ordered the final evacuations from the surface. The colony's outer domes had collapsed, and the alien weapons were burning through the underground levels one by one. "Move everyone to the deepest shelters," he commanded. "Use the old mining tunnels if you have to. Just keep our people alive." The massive alien ship finally moved into firing position. Thomas watched on his displays as it charged its main weapon. The energy readings were off the scale. "It's been an honor," he told his staff. None of them had abandoned their posts, even when given the chance to evacuate. The alien vessel fired. A beam of pure energy, bright enough to turn night into day, struck Mars. The planet's surface began to melt. Mountains crumbled. The colony's outer levels, already damaged, vaporized instantly. But deep underground, protected by layers of rock and emergency shields, thousands of colonists survived. The alien weapon, designed to destroy surface installations, couldn't reach the deepest shelters. That's when humanity's relief fleet arrived. Jane's ships, their engines burning out from the emergency jump, launched their experimental weapons without testing. The shield breakers, still prototype technology, streaked toward the alien fleet. "Direct hit," Maria shouted from her position in the fleet's science vessel. "Their shields are failing." "Wait. Something's wrong." The shield breakers worked too well. They didn't just disable the alien shields, they caused them to explode. The chain reaction spread through the alien fleet, ship after ship losing power as their shield generators overloaded. The massive planet killer, its main weapon depleted from the attack on Mars, found itself defenseless. Earth's fleet, though exhausted and damaged, showed no mercy. Hundreds of missiles struck the giant ship, breaking it apart. The remaining alien vessels retreated in chaos, leaving their dying flagship behind. But the victory felt hollow. The surface of Mars was in ruins. The colony's outer levels were destroyed. Thousands were dead or missing. In the aftermath, Thomas led the survivors out of the deep shelters. The colony was broken, but not defeated. Already, people were talking about rebuilding, about making the next colony stronger. "Count our losses," he ordered his staff. "Then count our supplies. We're not giving up this planet. Not after what it cost to hold it." Maria arrived with the first reconstruction ships. She walked through the ruined colony with Thomas, taking readings of the alien weapon effects. "We'll learn from this," she promised him. "Every burn mark, every melted wall, it all tells us something about their technology. Next time, we'll be ready." James coordinated the defense fleet from orbit, watching for any sign of the aliens returning. He knew they would be back. The Crystal Empire had shown their hand, shown how far they would go to break humanity's will. But looking at the survivors emerging from the shelters, already starting to rebuild, he knew they had failed. Humans didn't break. They adapted. They survived. And they remembered. The attack on Mars changed everything. Earth's governments poured more resources into defense and research. The shield breaker technology, despite its flaws, proved humans could not only copy alien weapons but improve them. Most importantly, the aliens had revealed their fear. They hadn't attacked Mars just to destroy a colony. They had attacked it because humans were advancing too fast, learning too much. They had tried to break humanity's spirit. Instead, they had only made it stronger. 6 months after the Mars attack, Dr. Maria Torres stood in her new laboratory deep under the Rocky Mountains. Pieces of alien technology from a dozen different empires covered the workbenches. Each piece told a story of failure and success, of human determination against overwhelming odds. "Look at this," she told Captain Walker, pointing to a holographic display. "See how each alien empire uses a different type of shield technology. They're all built on the same basic principles, but they never combined them. They never even tried." James studied the display, watching as Maria's simulation showed the interaction between different alien shield types. Why not? It seems obvious. Because they're too set in their ways, Maria explained. Each empire has been using their technology for thousands of years. They don't innovate anymore. They don't have to. She pressed a button, and the simulation changed. Now it showed a new kind of shield, one that combined elements from 3 different alien designs. But humans, we try everything, especially when we're desperate. The new shield design wasn't just stronger, it was different. It could adapt, changing its frequency to match incoming weapons. More importantly, it could be built with Earth's level of technology. "How soon can we put this into production?" James asked. "That's not all," Maria said, switching to another display. "Remember how the shield breakers worked too well at Mars? We figured out why. Look at this." The screen showed a new weapon design. It was smaller than the original shield breaker, but far more elegant. "We're not just breaking their shields anymore," she explained. "We're turning their shield energy against them. The stronger their shields, the harder they'd fall." News of the breakthrough spread quickly through Earth's military command. Within weeks, factories around the world began producing the new shields and weapons. Every ship in the fleet would need to be upgraded. But time was running out. Earth's deep space sensors detected massive fleet movements. The Galactic Council had finally decided to end the human problem once and for all. They were gathering ships from every empire that still opposed Earth. James walked through his ship, watching as crews installed the new equipment. The Phoenix had been rebuilt again, stronger than ever. But would it be enough? The alien fleet was larger than anything they had faced before. "All ships, combat drill," he ordered over the fleet channel. "I want everyone familiar with the new systems before the real fight starts." Earth's ships practiced day and night, learning to use their new weapons effectively. The combined shield technology required more skill to operate than the older versions, but it offered possibilities no one had imagined before. Maria worked with the fleet, fine-tuning the systems based on combat drill data. "The key is coordination," she told the ship crews. "These shields can work together, supporting each other." The aliens never thought to try that. 3 weeks later, the alien fleet arrived. It was massive. Thousands of ships from 6 different empires. They filled the space between Earth and the Moon, their weapons charged and ready. "Last chance to surrender," the Galactic Council's message stated. "Submit or be destroyed." Earth's response came in the form of James' voice, broadcast on all channels. "You still don't understand humans, do you?" The battle began. The alien fleet advanced in perfect formation, their ships arranged by empire. Each group used their own tactics, their own weapons, their own shield frequencies. They were powerful but predictable. Earth's ships met them with new strategies. Instead of fighting separately, human vessels moved in mixed groups. Their shields linked together, growing stronger through cooperation. When alien weapons hit one shield, the energy spread through the entire group, making all of them stronger. They're adapting. An alien commander's panicked transmission cut through the battle noise. Their shields, impossible. James watched from the Phoenix's bridge as human ingenuity changed the course of the war. When Crystal Empire ships attacked with their energy weapons, Earth's shields absorbed the power and redirected it. When another Empire's ships tried to use their famous planet killer weapons, they found their energy turned back against them. All ships, execute attack pattern Delta, James ordered. Show them what humans can do when we work together. Earth's fleet moved like one organism, protecting and supporting each other. The new shield breaker weapons proved devastating. Alien ships lost power one after another, their mighty shields becoming their greatest weakness. The alien fleet's formation began to break apart. Each empire tried different tactics, but nothing worked. Their weapons either couldn't penetrate Earth's combined shields or made them stronger. Their own shields failed against weapons they had never imagined possible. Multiple enemy ships retreating. James' tactical officer reported, "The Crystal Empire fleet is withdrawing. Now the others are following." But this time, Earth's forces didn't let them escape easily. James coordinated with Fleet Command, implementing the next phase of their plan. As the alien ships tried to reach their jump points, they found human vessels waiting for them. "Disable their engines," James ordered. "We don't need to destroy them. Just show them they can't win." The battle turned into a complete rout. Alien ships either surrendered or fled in panic. The mighty fleet that had come to end humanity instead proved human superiority, not through brute force or better technology, but through innovation and cooperation. Maria watched the battle data from her laboratory, already working on improvements. "Look at how their shields failed," she told her team. "Each time they tried something new, we learned from it. We're not just winning, we're evolving." As the battle ended, Earth's ships surrounded the remaining alien vessels. James broadcast one final message to all alien empires: Earth is not your testing ground. We are not your resources to take. We are humanity, and we will defend ourselves. The response came from an unexpected source. The leader of one of the smaller alien empires, watching the battle from their command ship, sent a private message to Earth's command. "We have existed for 10,000 years, the alien leader said. We thought we had mastered all possible technologies, but in less than 2 years, you humans have done what we thought impossible. You combined technologies we kept separate. You turned our weapons against us. Most importantly, you showed us that we had stopped growing." The alien leader's message spread through their fleet. One by one, other empires began to see the truth. They had become stagnant, relying on their ancient technologies and traditions. Humans, forced to innovate or die, had surpassed them in ways they never expected. James stood on his bridge, watching as Earth's ships began escorting the surrendered alien vessels to designated holding areas. They had won more than a battle today. They had proven that humanity's greatest strength wasn't their weapons or shields, it was their ability to adapt and grow. Maria's team was already studying the captured alien ships, finding new technologies to understand and improve. "Every failure teaches us something," she told her scientists. "Every defeat makes us stronger. That's what makes us human." The alien fleet's retreat marked a turning point in the war. Some empires would continue fighting, too proud to admit defeat, but others began reaching out to Earth, not as conquerors, but as equals. They had learned an important lesson: never underestimate human determination. 1 year after humanity's great victory, Captain James Walker stood on the observation deck of the Galactic Council's central station. Through the massive windows, he could see ships from dozens of alien empires moving peacefully alongside human vessels. It was a sight he never thought he'd live to see. "The trade agreement is ready for review," a tall, crystal-bodied alien said, approaching James with a datapad. "Your people have changed everything, you know. Some empires still can't believe how quickly you advanced." James took the pad, remembering the battles that had led to this moment. "We didn't want to fight," he said. "We just wanted to survive. Everything else came from that." The crystal alien made a sound like chiming bells, their version of laughter. "That's what scares them the most. You didn't set out to conquer or dominate. You just refused to lose, and in doing so, you surpassed empires that have existed for millennia." Back on Earth, Dr. Maria Torres led a very different kind of meeting. Her laboratory, once a secret military facility, had become an international research center. Scientists from Earth worked alongside alien researchers, sharing knowledge and ideas. "The principles are simple," she explained to a group of alien engineers, pointing to a holographic display of Earth's latest shield technology. "We took the best elements from different systems and made them work together, just like humanity did." One of the alien scientists, a being of pure energy contained in a mechanical suit, moved closer to study the display. "But the power requirements should be impossible," it said. "The energy patterns should conflict." Maria smiled. That's what everyone thought. But humans are good at doing impossible things, especially when we work together. In the Mars colony, Thomas Reed watched construction crews rebuilding the damaged domes. But they weren't just rebuilding. They were making everything better. The new structures incorporated technology from 3 different alien empires, made stronger by human innovation. "The outer shields are at full power," his assistant reported. "The new defense grid is online. No one will catch us unprepared again." Thomas nodded, remembering the desperate battle that had almost destroyed the colony. The attack had been meant to break humanity's spirit. Instead, it had shown the galaxy just how far humans would go to protect their own. A group of alien tourists watched the construction from a safe distance. Since the war's end, Mars had become famous throughout the galaxy. Alien visitors came to see the place where humanity had refused to surrender, where determination had overcome overwhelming odds. In orbit above Earth, James' old ship, the Phoenix, was being retired. But it wasn't being scrapped. Instead, it would become part of a new space station, a symbol of cooperation between humans and aliens. The ship that had helped save humanity would now help build peace. "Your ship will be the heart of the station," the crystal alien told James. A reminder of how everything changed. The day the Phoenix rose from defeat to victory will be remembered for generations. James watched as construction ships moved around his old vessel. "What about the empires that still oppose us?" he asked. Several alien powers had refused to accept the new reality, choosing isolation over cooperation. The crystal alien's body flickered, their version of a shrug. "They fear you. Not your weapons or technology, but your spirit. They fear that their own people will learn from humanity, will remember how to innovate and grow." Maria's research center received messages from across the galaxy. Young aliens from every empire wanted to study there, to learn the human way of solving problems. Even some of the isolated empires secretly sent students, unable to resist the lure of new ideas. "We're creating something new," Maria told her mixed team of human and alien scientists. "Not just new technology, but a new way of thinking. We're showing the galaxy that cooperation is stronger than competition." The changes spread beyond technology. Alien cultures that had been stagnant for thousands of years began to evolve. They watched humans constantly trying new things, unafraid of failure, and learned from their example. Some older aliens complained that humans were destroying traditions, but their young embraced the changes. They had seen how humanity's determination had overcome seemingly impossible odds, and they wanted that same spirit. Thomas organized the first interstellar innovation conference on Mars. Representatives from every friendly empire attended, sharing ideas and technology. The colony that had almost been destroyed now helped build bridges between species. "Look at them," he told his staff, watching aliens and humans working together on new projects. A year ago, they were trying to kill each other. Now they're building the future together. In the Galactic Council chamber, James attended a historic session. The Council had existed for millions of years, but today they would make an unprecedented decision. They would modify their most ancient law. Let it be recorded, the Council leader announced, that from this day forward, no empire may attempt to conquer or subjugate another species. The human example has shown us that true strength comes from determination and innovation, not domination. The law became known as the Human Determination Act. It spread through the galaxy, inspiring other species to resist oppression. Whenever an empire tried to conquer a weaker race, they found themselves facing not just their target, but a coalition of determined allies. Maria's innovations continued to change the galaxy. Her team developed new technologies that combined the best aspects of human and alien science. But more importantly, they developed new ways of thinking about old problems. Humans taught us to question everything. An alien scientist told her, "We had thousands of years of answers, but you taught us to ask new questions." The Mars colony became a symbol of resilience throughout the galaxy. Other colonies, human and alien, were built using its improved designs. Each one incorporated lessons learned from the Great Battle, not just in technology, but in determination. James eventually retired from active service, but he didn't stop working. He became an instructor at the new Galactic Defense Academy, teaching both humans and aliens. His most important lesson wasn't about tactics or technology. The greatest weapon isn't a ship or a shield, he told his students. It's the determination to never give up, to learn from every defeat, to keep trying until you succeed. That's what humans taught the galaxy. A century later, alien historians would mark humanity's emergence as a turning point in galactic history. Not because humans had defeated powerful empires, but because they had shown the galaxy a new way forward. They wrote about how a primitive species, barely able to reach their own moon, had faced overwhelming odds. How they had survived, adapted, and eventually thrived. How their determination had inspired a galaxy. But most importantly, they wrote about the lesson every empire now taught their young. Never underestimate human determination, because humans don't just fight until they win. They keep pushing boundaries, keep innovating, keep reaching for the stars. And that determination, that unbreakable spirit, had changed the galaxy forever. Thomas Reed watched the red dust of Mars swirl outside the colony's reinforced windows. As leader of humanity's largest off-world settlement, he had spent 5 years building this place into a home for 10,000 people. Now he might have to watch it all burn. Another fleet just jumped in, his security chief reported. Bigger than the last two. They're not even trying to hide their numbers anymore. The tactical display showed hundreds of alien ships approaching Mars. Not the usual Galactic Council vessels, but ships bearing the marks of the Crystal Empire, one of the most aggressive alien factions. They had apparently decided that if they couldn't beat Earth directly, they would strike at its colonies instead. Status of the evacuation? Thomas asked, keeping his voice steady despite his fear. 60% of civilians are in the underground shelters. The rest are still moving. Defense fleet is in position, but the security chief trailed off. Everyone knew Earth's ships were outnumbered 5-1. Thomas activated the emergency broadcast system. This is Colony Leader Reed. All civilians must proceed to shelter level 3 immediately. This is not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill. He watched as more red dots appeared on the tactical display. The alien fleet was spreading out, surrounding Mars. Their strategy was clear. They weren't just here to attack the colony. They wanted to destroy it completely, to break humanity's spirit. On Earth, Dr. Maria Torres received the emergency signal from Mars. She rushed to the command center where Captain Walker was already organizing a response. "The new weapons aren't ready," she told him, looking at the deployment orders. "The shield breakers need at least another week of testing." "Mars doesn't have a week," James replied. "Launch everything that can fly. We'll test the weapons in combat." The Earth Defense Force mobilized faster than ever before, but everyone knew they would be too late. Mars was too far. Even at their best speed, the relief fleet would take days to arrive. Back on Mars, the battle began. Earth's defenders fought bravely, using every trick they had learned. Ships equipped with the latest shields lasted longer, but the aliens had learned too. Their weapons were stronger, designed specifically to overpower human defenses. Thomas watched from the colony's command center as Earth's ships died one by one. Each captain fought until the end, taking as many alien vessels with them as possible. But it wasn't enough. Soon, the aliens began their attack on the colony itself. All civilians accounted for in the shelters, his assistant reported. But sir, the alien weapons, they're different. They're burning through our outer shields like they're not even there. Thomas had seen the reports. The Crystal Empire wasn't just trying to destroy the colony. They were testing new weapons, weapons designed to counter everything humans had developed. Maria watched the battle from her laboratory's tactical display, taking notes on how her shields performed. Some failed under heavy fire, while others held longer than expected. Each failure and success taught them something new. Track every shield collapse, she told her team. We need to know exactly how they fail. Next time, they'll be stronger. The space around Earth lit up with explosions and weapons fire. Human ships, although still outgunned, now fought with new confidence. They had learned to work together, using their smaller size and better maneuverability to their advantage. When one ship's shields failed, others would move to protect it. James watched as a group of Earth's destroyers surrounded a massive alien battleship. The alien vessel's weapons were stronger, but it couldn't hit the smaller, faster human ships. Meanwhile, Earth's vessels concentrated their fire on one spot, eventually breaking through the alien ship's shields. All ships in Sector 4, James ordered, press the advantage. Show them what happens when humans fight back. The battle lasted for hours. Earth lost ships and brave crews, but this time the losses were fewer. More importantly, for every human ship destroyed, they took down at least one alien vessel. The mighty Galactic Council fleet, which had expected another easy victory, found itself fighting for survival. Finally, after losing a third of their fleet, the aliens retreated. Their withdrawal wasn't the panicked flight of their first defeat, but a controlled fighting retreat. They had learned to respect human capabilities. In her laboratory, Maria already had teams analyzing recovered debris from the battle. Each piece of alien technology they recovered taught them something new. Each burned-out shield generator showed them how to make the next one better. We've lost the element of surprise, she told her team as they worked. Next time, they'll be ready for our shields. We need something new. James visited the laboratory a few days later, after the fleet had finished emergency repairs. He found Maria surrounded by holographic displays showing shield frequencies and weapon designs. The aliens are adapting, she told him without looking up from her work. They're learning our tricks. Next time will be harder. Then we'll learn faster, James replied. It's what humans do best. How long until the next breakthrough? Maria smiled, pulling up a new design on her display. Look at this. We've been studying how their weapons interact with our shields. I think we found a way to turn their own energy against them. As they discussed the new designs, alerts sounded throughout the facility. More alien ships had been detected entering the solar system. But these weren't warships. They were cargo vessels and mining ships, bearing markings of different alien empires. They're going around the Galactic Council, James realized. Some of the alien empires want to trade with us instead of fight. Of course they do, Maria said. We've shown we can reverse engineer their technology and improve it. They can either fight us and lose their secrets, or trade with us and profit. The news spread quickly across Earth. Humanity had not only survived its trial by fire, but had earned respect among the stars. Some alien empires still wanted to fight, but others saw an opportunity. Humans had proven themselves innovative, determined, and surprisingly capable. James looked out the laboratory window at the night sky. Somewhere up there, the Galactic Council was probably planning their next attack. They would return with new weapons and better tactics, but humanity would be ready. They had shields now, and soon they would have more surprises. Because that was the secret of human determination. They never stopped learning, never stopped improving, and never, ever gave up. 3 months after Earth's first victory, Dr. Maria Torres stood in her underground laboratory, staring at the pieces of alien technology spread across her workbench. The broken shield generator from a crashed alien ship held secrets she was determined to unlock. Her team had been working day and night, trying to understand how the alien technology worked. Dr. Torres, her assistant, called from a computer station. "You need to see this. The energy readings from the shield device changed when we connected it to our power source." Maria rushed over, her eyes scanning the data on the screen. For weeks, they had tried different power configurations, attempting to make the alien technology work with human systems. Most attempts had failed, but this time something was different. "Look at these patterns," she said, pointing to the energy waves on the display. "They're similar to our old nuclear submarine systems. The aliens might be more advanced, but the basic principles are the same." Above the laboratory, the sounds of construction echoed through the facility. After the first battle, Earth had moved most of its important research underground. The surface was too vulnerable to alien scanning. The whole planet had transformed into a massive war factory, with every nation working together to prepare for the next attack. Maria's communication device buzzed. It was Captain Walker, calling from the space station. "Doctor, please tell me you have good news. Our scouts report the alien fleet is growing. We count at least 3 times as many ships as before." "Actually, I do have something," Maria replied. "We found a way to power their shield technology. Give me 2 more weeks, and we might have working prototypes." "You have 1 week," James said. "That's all the time we can give you." Maria looked at her tired team. They had been working 16-hour days, but now they would need to work harder. "We'll make it happen," she promised. The next few days became a blur of tests and adjustments. Maria's team discovered that alien shield technology could be modified to work with Earth's power systems, but it required thinking differently about energy distribution. While alien ships used massive reactors to power their shields, humans had to be clever with less energy. "It's like comparing a sledgehammer to a scalpel," Maria explained to her team. "They use brute force. We'll use precision." 6 days later, Maria watched as engineers installed the first hybrid shield generator on a human battleship. The device was ugly, a combination of alien technology and human engineering, but it worked. The shield wasn't as strong as the alien versions, but it would give Earth's ships a fighting chance. Just in time, too. The alien fleet had returned, bigger and stronger than before. But this time, they found Earth ready for them. Captain Walker stood on his new bridge, watching the tactical display as Earth's forces moved into position. His ship, now renamed Phoenix from the ashes of the old Thunder, carried one of the new shield generators. The crew had trained with the new technology, learning its strengths and weaknesses. "All ships, battle formations," he ordered. "Remember the drills. Don't let them guess we have shields until it's too late." The alien fleet approached with caution this time. They had learned from their last defeat not to underestimate human tactics. Their ships spread out in textbook formation, ready for any suicide runs or ambush attempts. But humans had learned too. As the alien fleet crossed the moon's orbit, they encountered something new. Minefields made from modified communication satellites. The explosions weren't powerful enough to destroy the alien ships, but they disrupted their sensor systems. "Now," James ordered, "all ships, engage." Earth's fleet charged forward. The aliens, expecting the same hit-and-run tactics as before, prepared to chase down the human ships. Instead, humanity's vessels pressed the attack. When the aliens opened fire, expecting easy kills, their shots hit shields they didn't know existed. "Keep pushing," James commanded as his ship shook from enemy fire. "Don't let them regroup." The battle turned into chaos. Alien commanders, their careful plans disrupted, struggled to adapt to Earth's new capabilities. Some ships retreated, while others pressed their attacks harder. The unified alien fleet began to break apart. What followed was chaos. The alien fleet, expecting surrender documents, instead faced a coordinated attack from Earth's combined space forces. James led the first wave, targeting the alien ships that had been hiding closest to Earth. All ships, follow the plan, he ordered through the fleet channel. Hit and run only. Don't try to fight them head-on. Make them chase you into the kill zones. Earth's ships were smaller and less advanced, but they had one advantage. Their crews were fighting for their homes. The alien ships, spread out to intimidate Earth, found themselves under attack from multiple directions. Earth's vessels struck fast, then retreated, drawing the aliens into prepared trap zones where ground-based weapons waited. James watched as his strategy unfolded. Human ships took heavy losses, but they made the aliens pay for every victory. The space around Earth turned into a graveyard of broken ships, both human and alien. "Sir," his tactical officer shouted, "3 enemy destroyers approaching from Sector 7. Right where we want them." James said, "Signal the moonbase. Tell them to launch the miners." Dozens of mining ships, stripped down and loaded with explosives, launched from hidden bases on the moon. The alien destroyers, focused on the Earth ships harassing them, didn't see the real threat until it was too late. The mining ships, piloted by volunteers, slammed into the destroyers' shield generators. The explosions weren't powerful enough to destroy the massive alien ships, but they didn't need to be. They just needed to make a hole. All ships in Sector 7, concentrate fire on the destroyer's exposed sections, James ordered. He watched as Earth's ships poured everything they had into the weakened areas of the alien vessels. One destroyer's engines exploded, sending it spinning into another. The third tried to retreat but found itself surrounded by more mining ships on suicide runs. The battle raged for hours. Earth's forces lost over half their ships, but they bloodied the alien fleet badly. When the Galactic Council finally called for a ceasefire, their message was different. "Humans," the gray-skinned alien said, its voice less confident than before, "we underestimated your response. We offer a temporary truce to discuss terms." James looked at his crew, seeing the same determination in their eyes that he felt. They had survived the first day, but everyone knew this was just the beginning. The aliens would be back, probably with more ships and better tactics. But now they knew something important. Humans wouldn't surrender, no matter the odds. "Send them our response," James told his communications officer. "Tell them we'll discuss terms, but not as subjects. We'll meet as equals, or we'll keep fighting until there's nothing left of either side." As he waited for their answer, James thought about everything that had happened in the past day. Humanity had faced its greatest challenge, and, instead of breaking, had become stronger. They had learned they could hurt the aliens. They had learned they could fight back. Most importantly, they had learned that the Galactic Council wasn't invincible. The aliens' response came an hour later, agreeing to meet as equals. It wasn't a victory, not yet, but it was a beginning. Humanity had earned its first taste of respect among the stars, paid for in blood and courage. James knew the real war was just starting. The aliens would try again, probably with new tactics and bigger fleets. But humanity would be ready. They would build better ships, develop new weapons, and learn from every battle. Because that's what humans did best. They adapted, they evolved, and they never, ever gave up. As his ship limped back to Earth for repairs, James looked at the battle damage reports. The costs had been heavy, but they had proven something important. Humanity wouldn't go quietly into the night. They would fight. They would survive. And someday, they would thrive among the stars. The aliens had wanted Earth to surrender. Instead, they had awakened a sleeping giant. Now they would learn why every empire throughout history had feared human determination. The massive screen in Earth Defense Force headquarters showed the alien message again. Captain James Walker watched it for the 20th time, his hands gripping the back of a chair so hard his knuckles turned white. The alien speaker, tall and gray-skinned, repeated the same words that had shaken Earth to its core. Humans of Earth, you will surrender your planet's resources to the Galactic Council. This is not a request. You have 24 hours to comply. James looked around the emergency meeting room. Military leaders from every major nation sat together, their faces showing different stages of anger and worry. Some whispered to each other, while others stared at their tablets, reviewing defense reports that everyone knew were hopeless. They're already here, General Thompson said, standing up to point at a map showing hundreds of alien ships hiding behind the moon. They've been here for months, watching us, studying us. The question is, what are we going to do about it? James stepped forward. As the commander of Earth's first space battle group, he knew their chances better than anyone. Our ships weren't built for war, he said. They're exploration vessels and cargo haulers that we turned into fighting ships. Against their technology, we're throwing rocks at a tank. The room grew quiet. James walked to the main display and brought up images from the deep space telescopes. But that's not the whole story. Look at these pictures from the asteroid belt. He zoomed in on several locations, showing alien mining operations. They've been stealing from us for years. Different alien groups, all taking what they want. They thought we wouldn't notice. A woman from the science division raised her hand. Captain Walker is right. We found traces of at least 3 different alien technologies in the solar system. They're not working together. They're competing for our resources. James nodded, which means they're not as united as they want us to think. The Galactic Council isn't here to maintain order. They're here because they're scared we'll find out the truth and fight back. Fight back. Someone laughed from the back of the room. With what? Did you see their ships? One of their destroyers could wipe out half our fleet. Maybe, James said, but they don't know humans very well. We've been fighting stronger enemies since we lived in caves. We've survived ice ages, plagues, and our own nuclear weapons. Every time something tries to kill us, we come back stronger. General Thompson walked to stand beside James. What's your plan, Captain? James brought up a new display showing Earth's scattered defense forces. They think we'll surrender because we're primitive. They expect us to be logical, to see their power and give up. But that's not what humans do. He pointed to the alien fleet positions. They're strong, but they're overconfident. They don't expect resistance. We can use that. The next few hours turned into a blur of planning. James watched as the room transformed from a collection of scared officials into a united force. Scientists offered ideas for improving their weapons. Military leaders suggested tactics. Civilian agencies volunteered resources. By evening, they had a plan. It wasn't a good plan, not by normal standards. It would cost lives. It would destroy ships. But it was very human, bold, creative, and just crazy enough to work. As the meeting ended, James walked to the window. The sun was setting, painting the sky in orange and red. Somewhere up there, alien ships waited, expecting humanity to bow down in fear. He smiled, thinking about how surprised they would be. The next day, exactly 1 hour before the deadline, Earth sent its response. James stood on the bridge of his ship, the EDF Thunder, as they broadcast the message to every alien vessel in the system. The response was simple: no.